Last 30 years, Mr. Breen, I have been working to ensure the security of my country.
As have we all, and I would like to point out that the security of this country...
But if forced to choose between the security of your country and the security of your job, which would you...
Let me get this straight. The bank calls you up. They give you the bonds they want to sell. They give you clients. They give you money to run your business. They give you fat fees for doing so. But you represent the investors?
A word on the recent assignment to Father Gagan as an associate at St. Julia's in Weston. Father Gagan has a history of homosexual involvement with young boys.
Welcome to Conspiracy Theories Revealed. Hey there, conspiracy theory enthusiasts! Did you know that some conspiracy theory movies have sparked real-life controversies? Today, we are diving into the world of mind-blowing conspiracy theory movies that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Strap in and get ready for a wild ride as we uncover some of the most intriguing films in this genre. In fact, some of the best and most acclaimed movies ever made are actually about real conspiracy theories that make you second-guess reality. In this video, the most mind-boggling conspiracy movies you need to watch, we uncover 10 of the most mind-bending conspiracy movies that will leave you questioning everything you know. From political cover-ups to secret societies and everything in between, we cover the actual conspiracy theories that films such as the Da Vinci Code, Spotlight, Wag the Dog, and others were based on. In fact, some even predicted future events and conspiracies. If you're a fan of mystery, suspense, and unexpected twists, these are the movies you don't want to miss. So, here we go. Number 10, Z, 1969.
What I love about Z is that it is an exciting film that manages to entertain on a very uncomplicated level and be absorbing on a very uncomplicated level, but also to sell a very hard message, which is a political message.
Z, directed by Costa Gavras, is a captivating political thriller based on the true story of the 1963 assassination of Greek politician Grigoris Lambrakis. The film exposes the deep corruption within the Greek government, highlighting how authorities covered up the murder to suppress leftist movements.
It almost abstracted the politics into a different place.
It was even better in a certain way, as you probably saw, that I don't use names.
Right.
I don't use Greek names, I just use functions.
The character of the magistrate, based on real-life jurist Christos Sartsatakis, discovers the conspiracy despite great pressure.
It is a movie that never stops to take a breath. A lot of people criticize this because they felt that the film was not allowing enough for rumination of its political ideas and implications. I think Costa Gavras would argue, no, that's what's wrong with those political films.
The film's connections to real events, like the disappearance of Mehdi Ben Barka and hidden references to the Zapruder film, strengthen its status as a mind-blowing conspiracy movie. Number 9, The China Syndrome, 1979.
From the beginning of the trouble at 3 Mile Island Wednesday, officials were saying it was not a China syndrome situation, referring to a new movie about catastrophe at an atomic power plant.
The China Syndrome is a thrilling exploration of the dangers hidden behind the appearance of the nuclear energy industry. When a TV reporter and her cameraman accidentally film a near meltdown at a nuclear power plant, they uncover a terrifying conspiracy.
He said stabilize the reactor. Really, the reactor is quite stabilized already, safely shut down with all the control rods fully inserting as you can see fit.
The term China Syndrome refers to a hypothetical disaster where a reactor meltdown could burn through the Earth. The film's release strangely matched the real-life 3 Mile Island nuclear accident, making its representation of corporate and governmental carelessness even more alarming and timely. Number 8, Capricorn 1, 1978.
They're Aldrin's favorite movies because it's all about a government conspiracy to fake a manned mission to Mars.
Well, you know, it could have been made about the future, but it had all the equipment showing the launch that was Apollo equipment, the Saturn V lifting off, and the spacecraft were Apollo command module.
Capricorn 1, 1978, spins a captivating tale of a government conspiracy to fake a Mars landing. Written and directed by Peter Hyams, the film follows a reporter, played by Elliot Gould, who uncovers the truth behind the staged mission. The astronauts, played by James Brolin, Sam Waterston, and O.J. Simpson, are pressured into participating, but soon realize they're not valuable.
So the premise of Capricorn 1 is that they're on the first manned mission to Mars,
And before takeoff, the astronauts are taken out of the space capsule and flown to a secret location. The astronauts themselves don't know what's going on.
With a chilling representation of how far authorities will go to maintain public support, Capricorn 1 taps into 1970s paranoia, questioning whether huge achievements are only illusions created by those in power. Number 7, Wag the Dog, 1997.
No, it's just it's a pageant. It's a pageant, that's what it is.
Wag the Dog.
When the fit hits the shan, somebody's going to have to stay after school.
Maybe we could say it was a funny drug reaction to the flu.
Who's got the story?
Hey, don't you want to know if it's true?
What difference does it make if it's true? It's a story and it breaks, they're gonna have to run with it.
Wag the Dog is a dark comedy that brilliantly shows how media can shape and manipulate public views. Starring Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman, the film follows a political strategist and a film director who fake a war in Albania to distract voters from a presidential sex scandal.
There is a little-known 1997 Hollywood movie that perfectly predicts the war propaganda that we've seen around Ukraine and the Western proxy war on Russia. It also really perfectly predicts U.S. government propaganda on the war in Syria, the war in Libya, the 2 wars in Iraq, and many other conflicts.
The film's title captures the idea that the media, the tail, can manipulate public focus, the dog, away from real issues. This idea applies in real life, as conspiracy theories suggest leaders might stage conflicts to impact elections, just like in the film. Number 6, The Constant Gardener, 2005.
So the real issue is drug companies using untested drugs on African countries, which apparently happens in real life, or at least it was happening 10 years ago.
The Constant Gardener, directed by Fernando Meirelles, is a disturbing tale of corporate exploitation in Africa. The story follows a British diplomat who uncovers a pharmaceutical company's deadly conspiracy to test drugs on innocent villagers. As he digs deeper into the mystery surrounding his wife's murder, he exposes the horrifying scale of corporate greed and corruption.
Murder most foul. Seems you didn't hire contract killers in a den of vice after all. DZ is satisfied it was a crime of passion by our dark medical horse. Just a question now of finding Bloom.
Arnold Bloom is gay, Bernard. Gay men don't rape their women friends.
Well, I've known 1 or 2 very savage queens in my time.
The film is a strong mix of thriller and social commentary, shedding light on the often invisible victims of global capitalism and the lengths to which powerful entities will go to protect their interests. Number 5, The Insider, 1999.
In 1995, former Brown & Williamson employee Jeffrey Wygand became Big Tobacco's most notorious whistleblower. His decision to go public with confidential company information and his controversial 60 Minutes interview serves as the basis for the film, The Insider.
This technology known as ammonia chemistry, it allows for the nicotine to be more rapidly absorbed in the lung and therefore affect the brain and central nervous system.
The Insider digs into the shocking true story of Jeffrey Wygand, a whistleblower who exposed the tobacco industry's lies about the dangers of smoking. The film, directed by Michael Mann, shows Wygand's horrific journey as he risks everything to reveal the truth on national television.
Which meets the definition of a drug. Nicotine is associated with impact, satisfaction. It has a pharmacological effect that crosses the blood-brain barrier.
The conspiracy here is the tobacco industry's decades-long cover-up of the harmful effects of nicotine and its manipulation of scientific research. The Insider is a thrilling investigation of corporate corruption and the courage it takes to stand up against powerful opposition. Number 4, The Big Short, 2015.
However, one man by the name of Michael Burry saw big problems evolving within this system in the early 2000s, and ultimately these big problems would be left completely unchecked, so much so that it would eventually decimate the housing market and the American economy.
The Big Short, directed by Adam McKay, examines the complex and disastrous financial crisis of 2008. The film follows a group of outsiders who bet against the housing market, exposing the greed and fraud within the banking system.
This was an episode where capitalism was almost destroyed just by the capitalists. And in the most sensational way.
There was essentially crappier mortgages being put into these pools, and it didn't seem investors seemed to care, and it didn't seem the ratings agencies seemed to care.
The conspiracy here lies in systemic corruption and the collusion between financial institutions and government authorities, which led to the global economic meltdown.
The desire to satisfy this dream, though, needed a tool, something that would make home loans themselves much more affordable for those without the income, credit, or assets to afford one.
The Big Short is both a brutal expose of Wall Street and an educational primer on how a few individuals predicted and even profited from economic disaster. At Conspiracy Theories Revealed, we also let you be the judge by encouraging you to share your comments and thoughts in the comments section of this video. Number 3. Spotlight, 2015.
In 1976, at a Boston police station, two policemen discussed the arrest of Father John Geoghegan for child molestation. A high-ranking cleric talks to the mother of the children. An assistant district attorney then enters the precinct and tells the policeman not to let the press learn what has happened. The arrest is not publicized and Geoghegan is released.
Spotlight is a revealing look at the Catholic molestation scandal of 2002. There was a team of investigative journalists called Spotlight for the Boston Globe.
Are you familiar with Spotlight? No, not particularly. Well, we are a four-person investigative team. We report to Ben Bradley Jr., and we keep our work confidential.
Spotlight is a powerful and tragic tale of the Boston Globe's investigation into the widespread sexual abuse by Roman Catholic priests in Boston.
Started out with an assignment to do a story about one single priest, Father John Geoghegan. We didn't know anything about Catholic priests and abuse. I mean, we were an investigative team that had focused on official corruption and, shady business dealings and that sort of thing.
I mean, we went into this essentially because the boss said, look into it. You do what the boss says. And the church had always said there's just one or two bad priests out there. It's an isolated problem.
The film reveals how the church systematically covered up these crimes, allowing predators to continue harming children for decades. The conspiracy here is one of silence and support, with powerful institutions turning a blind eye to protect their reputation.
In late July of 2001, we got a new editor, Marty Barron. His very first day on the job, he made a reference to a Sunday column about 84 lawsuits against one priest.
And Marty asked a pretty simple question. Why are these sealed and have we tried to unseal them? The longer you're in the business, the more you have a sense of that might be a really good story.
Political corruption we did, shoddy building construction. I mean, we've never done anything on the Catholic Church.
Spotlight is a testament to the importance of investigative journalism and the impact it can have in bringing justice to the most vulnerable members of society. Number 2. JFK, 1991.
1991 film called JFK. JFK, of course, stands for John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who was the 35th president of the United States. But the movie doesn't really talk much about Kennedy as a person, though. Instead, it deals with the events during and after November 22nd, 1963, when President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas by Lee Harvey Oswald.
JFK, directed by Oliver Stone, is perhaps the most controversial conspiracy film ever made. The movie explores the theories surrounding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, suggesting that the government planned a cover-up to hide the real killers.
JFK is a fascinating film that was one of the most provocative ones that came out in the 90s. A generation of us watched this film and became convinced that the US government had covered up and perhaps even participated in the JFK assassination.
The film explores the idea that powerful groups within the US government, including the CIA and the military-industrial complex, were involved in the criminal scheme.
The FBI concluded that all 3 bullets struck inside the car.
He was hit for the first and the third. The second shot hit the governor. The third shot tore a large part of the president's head off.
It showed the first shot had missed its target completely, and the final shot hit Kennedy in the head. So how does one account for one bullet hitting 2 victims?
JFK challenges the official account and leaves viewers questioning the authenticity of everything they've been told about one of the most significant events in American history. Number 1. The Da Vinci Code, 2006.
She's the young wife of a Florentine businessman by the name of Francesco del Giocondo. That's what most art historians believe. No art historians that I have identified yet quite agree that she is who the Da Vinci Code suggests.
The Da Vinci Code, based on Dan Brown's best-selling novel, is a captivating adventure that dives into a conspiracy dating back to the time of Christ.
The fact that the movie thinks this many people would ever come to a public talk titled The Interpretation of Symbols. Professor of Religious Symbology is a title that doesn't exist at Harvard University or anywhere else in the world.
Symbols are a language that can help us understand our past.
The story follows symbologist Robert Langdon as he uncovers a hidden truth about the Holy Grail and the secret society that has protected it for centuries.
Mary Magdalene, not Peter. The church was supposed to be carried on by a woman.
Few realize that Mary was descended from kings, just as her husband was.
But how could Christ have a bloodline unless...
Mary was pregnant at the time of the crucifixion.
The conspiracy here involves the Catholic Church's efforts to suppress information that could undermine its teachings. The Da Vinci Code fascinated audiences worldwide with its blend of historical conspiracy theories, religious mystery, and the captivating possibility that history, as we know it, is built on centuries-old lies. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like and check out other cool videos from our channel, Conspiracy Theories Revealed. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel to be notified of more thought-provoking content on conspiracy theories and hidden truths from our latest videos where we let you be the judge.